You're listening to the Bots and Bosses podcast, the only show where robots and humans attempt to work side by side. Presented by John Binks, technologist, author, and your AI ringling tour guide. So, buckle up and let's deep dive.
Okay, picture this. You've just clicked apply for a job online. You know the feeling, right? You've filled out all those forms, maybe even chatted with one of those AI assistants, uploaded your resume, and now you wait. You've put your personal info out there, trusting it's safe. It's this little leap of faith we all sort of take. Well, today we're going deep into a story that really puts that trust to the test. We're talking about a pretty major data breach at McDonald's linked to their AI hiring tool, McHire. This breach exposed the personal details of, get this, 64 million job applicants. So our mission here is to unpack how this actually happened, cut through the jargon, what data got out, how did the companies react, and crucially, what does this mean for you? And, well, for AI in hiring generally, we want you to walk away feeling properly informed, really understanding the stakes. So let's dive in.
It's a really interesting case, is it? Because it shows just how much we rely on these automated systems now, sometimes maybe without fully checking the basic security underneath.
Absolutely. And the AI right at the center of this is called Olivia. It's from a company, Paradox.ai. And this platform, McHire, it's apparently used by something like 90% of McDonald's franchisees. It basically runs their whole hiring show.
Right.
Olivia screens candidates, schedules interviews, talks to applicants, and you, the applicant, you're feeding your details straight into it. And it's not just name and email. We're talking phone numbers, home addresses, when you can work, even a personality test.
And that really highlights this huge trend, doesn't it? Companies using AI for hiring, often handing over the handling of really sensitive data to these third-party platforms. So when you talk to Olivia, you're essentially trusting their vendor with a big chunk of your personal info.
Yeah.
And you expect them to keep it safe.
Yeah, you do. Now, here's the twist. Finding this massive vulnerability wasn't some complex cyber attack. It came down to, believe it or not, just the curiosity of two security researchers, Carroll and Sam Curry. Carroll actually said he found the chatbot process uniquely dystopian compared to a normal hiring process. And that feeling just made him want to look deeper.
It's amazing how often that happens, isn't it? Just a feeling, a bit of curiosity, leading to a major cybersecurity discovery. That's really what ethical hacking is about. Finding the holes before the bad guys do. Their aim wasn't to cause trouble, but, to make things more secure for everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
And sometimes the biggest finds aren't super technical exploits, but just fundamental mistakes.
And what they found was, well, pretty mind-blowing. The first big issue was almost laughably simple. They found an internal login link for Paradox.ai staff just sitting there on the McHire website.
On the public website.
Yep. But wait, it gets worse. They managed to log into an admin panel for a test McDonald's location using 123456 for both the username and password.
Oh, wow. Seriously.
And of course, no multi-factor authentication, none at all.
Okay, that's just basic security 101 missed right there. And it was a test account.
A dormant test account, apparently not used since 2019.
Which absolutely should have been shut down or secured properly. That's not even a hack. It's just poor housekeeping, really. Leaving a door wide open like that, it often points to bigger problems in how companies manage old systems.
And that open door, well, it led them to something even more serious. The second vulnerability was what they call an insecure direct object reference, or IDOR.
IDOR. Yes. Very common, unfortunately.
So basically, they realized they could see other applicant stuff, full chat histories, personal details, session tokens, just by changing a number in the web address, the applicant ID number.
Just incrementing the ID.
Just changing the number up or down. Carroll said, in about 30 minutes, we had access to nearly every McDonald's job application going back years. He summed it up. Within a few hours, we identified two major issues. Together, these flaws allowed us to retrieve sensitive information belonging to more than 64 million applicants.
And IDOR essentially means the system wasn't checking who was asking for the data. It saw a request for applicant number 12346 and just served it up without making sure the person asking was allowed to see it. It's a failure of authorization, plain and simple. And at that scale, 64 million. That's huge.
It really is. And the data exposed, it wasn't trivial. We're talking full names, emails, phone numbers, IP addresses, home addresses, your availability, the results of those personality tests, the actual chat logs, and even session tokens.
Those session tokens are particularly risky. They're like temporary keys to your account. someone could potentially use them to log in as you without needing your password.
And the personality assessments, too. That feels quite personal in the wrong hands.
Definitely. Could be used for very targeted phishing, maybe even discrimination down the line. It's sensitive stuff.
Now, to be fair, once the researchers flagged it on June 30th, the response was quick. McDonald's apparently replied within an hour. And Paradox.ai shut down that weak login and fixed the iDoor vulnerability pretty much straight away.
Which is good. Prompt remediation is key.
Yeah.
But it brings up the whole issue of who's ultimately responsible, right? McDonald's statement basically pointed the finger at Paradox.ai, calling it an unacceptable vulnerability from a third-party provider.
Right.
And Paradox.ai, well, their chief legal officer did say, we take responsibility for this issue, full stop. They stressed it was that dormant test account, only accessed by the researchers, and only affected McDonald's.
But what does full stop actually mean in practice? Does it cover the potential harm?
Well, that's the question. And Sam Curry, one of the researchers, made a really important point about the risk. It wasn't just data theft. Think about fraudsters getting hold of all that applicant info, names, addresses, chat history.
Yeah.
They could easily pretend to be McDonald's recruiters, contact applicants who are waiting to hear back, and try to pull off payroll scams, asking for bank details. Curry said the phishing risk would have been massive.
That's genuinely terrifying for anyone looking for a job. Just puts you in such a vulnerable position.
Absolutely. The potential for fraud was enormous.
So looking ahead, Paradox.ai says they've tightened things up. Stronger password rules, fixed the API, they've even started a bug bounty program and set up a proper channel for security researchers to report things.
Which are all necessary steps. Definitely positive.
Yeah.
But this whole incident really hammers home something fundamental about security. Someone commented on this saying, we persons are the key factor. If we fail, neither technology nor processes can protect systems. And that feels spot on here. This wasn't some super advanced attack. It was basic stuff. Weak passwords, no MFA, an old account left active.
Yeah, the fundamental.
Exactly. It just shows that no matter how fancy the AI is, you can't neglect the basics. Organizations need ongoing checks, constantly looking for these kinds of weaknesses. It really comes down to the human element in good processes.
So, wrapping up our deep dive today, we've seen how simple flaws, things like default passwords on old test accounts and this iDoor issue, can snowball into a massive breach, especially when AI tools are handling so much of our personal data, like in job applications. 64 million people affected. It's quite something. And it leaves us with a pretty big question, doesn't it? As we use AI more and more for, everything, jobs, healthcare, you name it, who's really responsible for checking if these systems are secure? Is it on us, the users, to somehow vet every platform we use? Or is it squarely on the companies building and using these tools? And what does it say when your very first interaction with a potential employer, that initial application, actually puts your privacy, your security at serious risk? It's definitely something to think about.
Well, that's a wrap of this episode of the Bots and Bosses podcast. Enjoyed the show? Don't just listen. Follow the Bots and Bosses podcast and connect with John Binks online. Remember, the bots are getting smarter, but you're still the boss. For now, see you next time.